All right, welcome to Comfortably Uncomfortable. You've got Sandy and Alex here, and we are here to empower women to choose courage over comfort by getting comfortably uncomfortable. We get real and cut through the bullshit. Are you ready to get a little weird? Because we're going to laugh, sweat, cry, and grow together.
No topic is going to be TMI. Well, maybe for me, but not for Sandy. We complement each other in that way. Okay, so are we ready?
Well, yeah, duh, I am, but are you?
Okay, let's go.
The one with the afterbirth. Basically, the things people don't tell you that you come to find out and you're like, what the F?
This could go on for a long time.
But we will keep it to 15 minutes.
We're going to try our damnedest, but you know what? I don't know.
We might have a part 2, part 3, part 4, but yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go straight into it.
This is my life.
Yeah, like we can go straight into it. Like honestly, like the first 24 hours at the hospital is the thing that I was not prepared for. Like I have helped women, pelvic floor, postnatal, all this stuff. Yet those first 24 hours in the hospital or right after baby, if you gave a home birth, like I was shocked. Like I was shocked. I mean, between the poop that is impossible, which we talked about, I think in our poop episode slightly, which is one of our top episodes, which I think is hilarious. I love you guys. To that, all right, to pad-cicles, which were my lifesaver.
Yeah.
Do you know what pad-cicles are? I mean,
did
you know what pad-cicles were? I didn't. I had no idea what they were.
I did not know what they were. Actually, I don't think I knew about them. I was the first one of my friends to have a baby, and I feel like a lot of these, or some of my closest friends, I should say. And I feel like there were a lot of things that someone should have effing.
Yeah, my mom didn't tell me any of this.
It's not like I'm sure people were doing some form of that when our parents had us. Like it's this baby comes out the same way, like same shit's happening. But
what's interesting?
No, I don't think I knew about those until maybe my second.
Well, I mean, again, this is where it's interesting because I mean, this could be a cultural thing. This could be a generational thing. I'm not sure. But my mom will say, like, she didn't talk about this stuff. Like, you talked about how cute your baby was. You talked about how, like, you're losing sleep maybe. But, like, the down and dirty, like, not cute stuff, everyone just kept to themselves. At least, I mean, again, like, there's no TMI. And I was like, why did my mother, she's a labor and delivery nurse. Like, how did you not share these things with me?
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
I don't understand it. And she's like, I don't know, I forgot. And I was like, okay. So if you don't know what pad-cicles are, they're essentially ice packs for your vajayjay. All right. Depending if you had stitches or not, you pushed out a watermelon from a tiny hole, and it hurts.
Yeah.
And it's swollen and it's flopping around. And these like ice packs.
It's an injury that needs an ice pack.
Exactly. It's a trauma. It's an injury. So with the most beautiful press.
What? Just putting like water on a pad, right?
So
or like a little witch hazel?
Witch hazel is what I did. Yeah. Yep. And then you put it in the freezer, and then I would stick that literally in my underwear or my biker shorts, and I would wear that because it would be like my walking ice pack.
Yeah. The witch hazel spray, I will say that's like my number one. Don't ever forget that in the hospital bag, like must have to spray after.
Like spray while you're peeing, spray. I mean, you know me, I'm gonna go and tell me like, no, you need to tell me the details here. Of, like,
no, I mean, I think just like, well, after, like you use that water bottle to clean yourself, the spray bottle. And then you spray it's like a witch hazel perineal spray.
Yeah.
After, and it is amazing. That was my lifesaver.
So for me, it was that water bottle, that spray water bottle. Yeah. These stitches stung like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And like I could not pee without using that spray bottle to dilute my urine so that it would not sting. And then like the number one recommendation I give that I don't know, it came to me afterwards. It was like, I was not airing out my vagina. So like I would do a sit bath, and finally, like, cause it was not healing, like it was still stinging. I was like, this should be like these stitches are self-dissolving. So they should dissolve and they should just like be done.
Yeah.
And it just was not healing until I figured out, I was like, I am not airing it. So like I would take a sit bath and then I would literally sit in my bed, spread eagle, let the air flow in. And like that helped it heal faster. And I had that spray bottle. I was like, I probably still have it because I'm like, it's 6 years later and I'm like,
so attached.
because like the stinging of the pee was awful.
It's real. You can still remember it. Yeah.
Yeah. But no,
So
so
go ahead.
no, I was going to go along with the pee, with the poop.
Yeah.
The thing I would tell people, because I was shocked at the bill when I got, when you get that afterbirth bill of like all the itemized things of what things cost, I spent $20 on a stool softener, Colace.
Oh
They charged me $20 for a stool softener. And so
pack
I tell
those
people
too.
all
And
the time.
yeah,
like,
you need to have them when you get home.
Yep. So I'm like, just put that in your bag. You can say no thank you for the stool softener from the hospital. You took your own, and that will help with the poop, because hemorrhoids are a reality. I thankfully never got them because I was taking my stool softener once I got home. But hemorrhoids happen if you're trying too hard to poop and your veins essentially like swell up. And so then it could bleed, it can become painful to poop. I mean, it's painful to sit. So hemorrhoids are not a fun thing. So stool softener and drink your water. You get these amazing, like,
those huge
cups, like amazing water cups that will help you. There's your poop and there's your pee, people.
Thank you. We needed to cover that.
That's like the priority. That's like the first thing I brought up. See?
Absolutely. Well, it's the stuff you have to do before you're allowed to leave, right?
Exactly.
The freezer, the thing that I enjoyed most in my freezer when I got home was cabbage leaves. I would put them on my chest because I was so swollen and I had just a very, very hard time breastfeeding with my first. And so the big cabbage leaves, the green ones, not the purple ones. The purple ones will stay in your clothing. Get the green ones. Put them in individual leaves in your freezer, and they're the perfect size, and they're like ice packs for your boobs.
I love it. That's great. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you can Google and you'll find 1,000,001 things to like put in your hospital bag. But I always go to the mommy, and I'm like, we always forget about the mommy. As soon as the baby's born, we're like, we got like 3 outfits for the baby. Right, we got a blanket, we got a hat, we got the car seat, we got bottles, we got diapers, we got this, and I'm like,
we're picture ready, but mom needs some help.
And I'm like, okay, moms, we talked about the witch hazel for the pee-pees and the vajayjays. We talked about the Colace or like stool softener for the poopies, and like make sure you're not pushing too hard because hemorrhoids. And then honestly, like being in that hospital for 24 hours, right? It depends where you give birth, but most protocols, it's like you have to stay overnight for 24 hours for observation. You're getting woken up like every few hours, and there's noises and there's this, and whether you're in the hospital, birth center, whatever, I honestly recommend bringing earplugs and an eye mask. So that when you are in the hospital, depending if your baby's next to you or if they're, in a separate room, you can try and get some rest. I know that sounds ridiculous. And it's like, I would wake up and put my hand on the baby and I'd be like, and then I'm like, but I remember distinctively of like every little noise woke me up. And so it was just like, at least within the hospital, put on those earplugs to try and like drown out some of the ambient noise. Trust me, you will still hear your baby. You absolutely, like, you just have a connection and just like, it's there. And so earplugs, eye mask, bring them in.
I like that. My other suggestion looking back would have been to make sure that you like pack a snack for yourself.
Oh yeah. Food.
I came up to the hospital room at 1 a.m. with the twins. That was like my first night, was getting there at 1 a.m. and I could have literally killed someone for a turkey sandwich. Like it was just insane, like my hunger level. And I really wish I had packed a protein bar or like had an extra one. Because I'm sure I had them like during the day or whatever, but I think I was so focused on the fact that like, okay, I was going to be induced, so I wasn't allowed to eat. So I didn't really want to tempt myself, but I didn't think about after like this
tell your birth partner.
day.
Yeah, I was like, tell your birth partner to bring food.
Otherwise,
right?
they will be scouring
Yes.
the hospital in the
And
city.
you won't feel as energized. You'll feel
Yeah,
weak. I mean, you literally
totally.
just had an event, so you can call it a sporting event. That's why I want
Yeah.
those
It's a
freaking,
marathon.
yes,
It's a
that
marathon.
belt of like, I did this. I want a medal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for sure. And then again, like for C-sections, you're having those bandages, you're having like there's so many other precautions that have there. I would say for sure of just making sure that you could probably take some of that stuff home and just making
Hmm.
sure that you ask your nurse to help with the wound care, and so that you're
Yeah.
keeping the wound clean and keeping all of that stuff, because you'd be surprised some of the stuff, like they charge you $20 for stool softener, yet you can take wound care bandages and like a couple extra diapers or whatever you need for
Hmm.
you. um you're gonna laugh, but like the mesh undies, like
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
they give those to you, but this is like
Yeah.
where I say again, add this to your mommy bag, not the baby bag, the mommy bag, of like freaking buy yourself some big granny panties or something,
Yes. Yeah.
or something that like is going to feel better, because like those mesh panties that like just go over and try and hold everything in, to me I always felt like things were falling, like I just didn't
Yes.
feel like it
Yeah.
was like everything was stayed put.
In
So
place.
I'm
Right.
like, just bring some oversized underwear
Yeah.
that's
You
not
know
going
what?
to like push you.
I've seen recently there are some companies, I think Frida, the like suck the booger out
Oh yeah, nose Frida.
tool, knows Frida. Okay, so that company has come up with a like hospital kit for you to take with you for the moms that
Oh, that's awesome.
has all of this kind of amazing stuff in it. And I'm pretty sure it has the underwear, and I know it has the witch hazel spray and some breast like pads, like cooling
Hmm.
pads. And it, I, yeah, I think that they have one that looks really good. So I'm pretty impressed. I listened to a podcast one time and she was like, we're putting like an image that actually explains what this is on the box. Like the company selling it, maybe Target or something, it's like, it's a little like too much. Like, we don't want to be so obvious. And she's like,
No, we're
no,
being
like
obvious. Yeah.
this is about taking care of women's vaginas. Like, we're going to be real clear about that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it comes back to this whole
So
thing
look
of
for
like,
something like that because now it's in like this cute little package for
yeah.
women.
Well, and it's just funny of
It's
like,
amazing.
this is how we started this episode, right? Is like, we don't talk about it. And so even if you're not having a baby yourself and you're going to a baby shower, like I think it's cute and all to like buy things for the baby, but like throw some stuff in there for afterbirth
Yeah.
for the mama,
Yeah.
whether it's like, here's a witch hazel bottle, or here is some, panties that are period panties, because guess what?
Yeah.
You're going to bleed. Like
Right.
you're going to bleed. That stuff is coming out. So I don't know, advocate for each other, make it obvious. Cause like, it's like, yeah. Oh, this was like a really cute story between a daughter and a mom texting. It was like her period for the first time. And she was like going to the pharmacy to look for a tampon. And she was just like so lost, because she was like, I can't
Yeah.
find it. Where's the sign? Where's the sign? And the mom was like, okay, you have to go to this and then go find this, and like feminine hygiene. And she's like, why is it so hard to
Oh my
find a
God.
tampon? And it was just this whole idea of like, why do we need to
Like,
hide it?
hide
Like,
this.
don't hide periods, right? We bleed from
Right.
our uterus. It is what it is. But then again, don't hide after birth. It's not the prettiest, but guess what? If we get through it together, we can laugh about it. We can be like, wow, this is,
Well, and hopefully
glamorous.
just right. And just hopefully not have it be such a traumatic event. Like
Right.
if you were ready for an injury, like if you were prepared for that, like I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
it
I
would have
feel
come out on the other
completely.
side a little differently.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I ever have another child, or if I have another delivery, like I'm going to feel so much more empowered this time
Yeah.
around after birth to be like, okay, like I know what I'm expecting. This may or may be worse or different or better, whatever. But at least it's not, like you said, this traumatic, like literally, I remember being like, no one prepared me
Yeah.
for this.
No. No.
So if you're pregnant and have questions and you have no one's talking to you about it, then reach out to us, because we'll give it to you straight.
Yeah.
Because don't be scared, it doesn't last forever, but if you're prepared, it makes the journey just so much smoother and enjoyable.
Well, and I think too, like there's this line that you don't want to scare someone
Right.
pregnant. I mean, I remember so clearly people telling me these stories when I was pregnant with my first of like their traumatic birth story, like people that you're not close with, people that you like maybe you can talk with your best friend about it, but like, I don't want to really talk with a stranger about this. And I'm like, oh my God, you need to stop talking. Like, I don't want to hear about all these awful things. But now, like, just talk to your friends. Like, just be open and honest. Like, friends, moms, I don't know. Like,
Well, for me, it's
just,
like, you know what? I hope to know that you're not suffering alone. Because again, like
yeah,
those stitches for me, I wish I would have been able to be like, what is the deal here? Like, ow, you know, and like
I don't
not even
even
get
think,
into like then having sex for the first time
right.
afterwards. Like we talked a little bit about that in our orgasm episode, but
Yeah.
if I would have known, like, yeah, probably the stitches had something to do with that. And like the connection and like there's just so many things. It's like
Right.
err on the side of like, this is your story. You're not pushing your
Mhm.
story on anybody else, you know, so we're not trying to scare, but it's definitely of like, say it this way, like I have like us today, my 2 tips. It's like literally eye mask, earplugs, stool softener.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
Witch hazel, perineal spray, cabbage leaves in the freezer.
And foods, bring your snacks.
Food, snacks. Yeah, I mean, I remember even my first like checkup. Like I asked my doctor how bad the tear was and like how many stitches, and she like didn't even want to give me an answer. Like, can
Right.
someone please, I mean, talk to me about what's going on with my own body?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
it's okay. I deserve to know. I
Yeah,
want to know.
absolutely. So
So we're all
I
in
love
it together. That's
absolutely.
the important thing. We're all in it together, and nothing is too embarrassing to try to share and learn and help for the greater good. Please.
When I'm just so over being shamed of what a woman's body goes
Mhm.
through, you know, whether you're a teenager and you're having your period for the first time, or you're, you know, have trauma and you're figuring out the vagina and all of that, what is in there,
Mhm.
to giving birth and the afterbirth. It's like, it is part of our story. It is
Mhm.
who we are fundamentally as human beings. And we've been having babies for how long? And how is it
Right.
that we're still not talking about this?
Right.
Let's end
Unbelievable.
this. Let's
All
end it.
right. Ended. Now.
Thank you for showing up today. Getting awkward is always more fun with friends. Give us a review, tag us, and share us so we can continue to grow together.
Use hashtag CUPod, letter C, letter U, or tag us. You can find Sandy on Instagram at sweatandshineon and Alex at aj.afterbabyfit on Instagram and afterbabyfit on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you next time.